Where is Victini? That is the big question everyone is asking when it comes to the Crown Tundra, but I do want to start off this video talking about why people are even looking for Victini in the first place, and that's because of the Datamine. Victini is somewhere in the game's code. Wait, what? So we have a list of legendary Pokemon static encounters in the Crown Tundra and their levels. Poipole, Cosmog, Cobalion, Terrakion, Virizion, Keldeo, Victini, and Regigigas. Now, Regigigas wasn't too hard to find, same thing for the Swords of Justice. Poipole and Cosmog are where things get weird, but we're going to talk about that a bit more. And then there's Victini. But after days of searching, no one has found it, and that is what this video is going to be about. We're going to be looking into what's been going on with Victini. If you end up enjoying it, don't forget to leave a like, and please consider sharing it with your friends, because it really helps with the YouTube algorithm. So, the reason why people are still looking for Victini is because we were able to discover some of the other Pokemon pretty quickly, like Spiritomb. Spiritomb was a little cryptic, but by applying past Pokemon knowledge, like, wait a second, there's this grave-looking thing. And back in Diamond and Pearl days, if you talk to people through multiplayer, then you could actually get Spiritomb to spawn. So you talk to 32 people, they give you items like we've seen in the wild area, and then that gets Spiritomb to appear. Pretty cool. Now, when it came to some of the other static encounters or the other gift Pokemon, there was information inside the game. Like, there's actually text relating to Poipole, so people knew it was there. We just had to find out where this text belonged, and then you can go and get Poipole. We'll just do a lot of Dynamax adventures, find 5 Ultra Beasts, and then Poipole appears. So people are finding these Pokemon, and then Victini is still out of reach after almost a week, even though people were finding these Pokemon quick. Really, the only thing that's left is the Galarian Star Tournament, because Victini seems like it could line up with that. You know, the Victory Star ability, Galarian Star Tournament. It is kind of a feature that maybe Game Freak is trying to draw a lot of attention to. It was one of the very few things revealed about the Crown Tundra, so maybe there's going to be some really crazy rewards for it. Well, after completing the Galarian Star Tournament for the first time, you get 1,000,000 Pokédollars. That's really cool, and there's also unlocks that you can get 2 secret characters by beating the tournament 15 times. That's how you get Swordbert and Shieldbert. But that seems to be it. There doesn't seem to be anything else in the game or the Datamine that suggests this is the way of getting Victini, unless it's something absurd like beating it 100 times, but that isn't in line with all of the other Pokemon. You know, you catch Terrakion, Virizion, and Cobalion, and then Keldeo appears, and the game at least guides you in the direction of Keldeo. Regigigas is kind of a mystery, but, you know, you just kind of get all of the Regis on your team, and you know Regigigas is going to be in the game somewhere, because that's how it worked in Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, so you can maybe find it at some point. And then Poipole and Cosmog, like I said, those are the weird ones since they appear as gifts, but they are listed as static encounters. And when you get Cosmog, it's really easy, but it's not level 60. It's level 5. So there are some inconsistencies here. Now, what I'm not saying is that the Datamine is wrong, or that the Datamine can't be trusted, because everything else has pretty much come true. This is just what we see from time to time when it comes to Datamine, such as Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee. Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee Datamine told us pretty much everything about the game, but had some weird quirks, like saying that a 31 chain gave you 6 IV Pokemon. That didn't happen. And there was also some weird information about catch combos or catch count, that if you caught hundreds or thousands of Pokemon, the items that you would get as a catch reward would improve, eventually giving you golden berries and rare candies every time you caught a Pokemon if you've caught like 2,000 or 3,000 Pokemon. This is in the game data, but it seems like it was never implemented. And then we just need to talk about coding. Just because something is there doesn't mean it's implemented, because what we're looking for is the flag for Victini. But if a flag was never programmed in, it doesn't matter if it's in the game. So this is what people are showing. There's a static encounter editor, and Victini is a part of the static encounters. So in theory, it should be there. You know, we got species Victini, but no one has found it. That's kind of like where we are right now. So far, nobody has found Victini. It's not mentioned at all in the game's text, so we have no hints about how to trigger the encounter, if it can be triggered at all. And that's a big one. Like, it could still be there. It's in the game, but at this time, there might just be no way of triggering it, therefore you don't have access to the Victini. And that's also getting a lot of people to ask if it's even a mistake. You know, maybe it's not in the game at all, or it's a mistake. It is in the game. The static encounter is definitely programmed into the game. There's just no trigger though, so Game Freak either never implemented it, or maybe Victini was planned for the Crown Tundra, and then they scrapped it for some reason along the way. Maybe they decided it didn't fit in, maybe they didn't have enough time to get it through, or maybe it's planned for an event. And that kind of brings us to another theory. Since the static encounter is already programmed in, it would just be a small patch to implement some kind of story, some kind of text, some kind of activation for the Victini, and then that would also be a really cool event that would make people super excited about the Crown Tundra and also probably get a bit more favor with Game Freak. Now, if Game Freak actually does something like that, remains to be seen, but that is another possibility that now just opens up for a really quick event, and then that would just kind of add a lot of surprise to the Crown Tundra, because that is something that's possible. You know, Zarude wasn't in the base Pokemon Sword and Shield game, wasn't in that base Datamine, ended up coming out as an event Pokemon, so there are still some patches, there are still some updates that could be added into Pokemon Sword and Shield. There's also some people that are thinking maybe this is a plan for a Victini raid. No, it's a static encounter, so it's not going to be like some kind of special raid event, and even when it comes to that, a lot of people were expecting that we were getting Gigantamax Melmetal through a max raid battle event, but it seems to be tied in with Pokemon Home. This special Melmetal will be sent as a mystery gift to the mobile version of Pokemon Home. So there's already going to be an event tied with Pokemon Home, which makes Victini seem even less likely for that, but maybe it's a possibility. Maybe once you bring in a Pokemon that has the tag that it came from Pokemon Home, or like the symbol for Pokemon Home, that triggers something in the game, and then that's how you end up getting Victini. So there's actually two events potentially tied in with Pokemon Home. And also, when we're talking about mythical Pokemon make the game kind of weird, because you've never needed mythical Pokemon to complete any Pokedex in the game. So here we even have the Crown Tundra Pokedex. We have Karrablast, we have Lampent, but I caught Keldeo. There's video of me catching Keldeo, but it's not in the dex. Well, it's just a legendary Pokemon, so it's not going to be in the dex. Oh, there's Virizion. So even though, like, Keldeo is directly tied, you don't need to download any event, you don't need to pull any shenanigans, you just get Virizion, Cobalion, Terrakion, and then something triggers inside the game for Keldeo. Keldeo is not in the Crown Tundra dex, even though the prerequisite Pokemon are in the dex. So that also means that, like, there isn't a lot of urgency, there isn't a lot of need to have every mythical Pokemon inside the game and stuff, and Game Freak can just give them away. Maybe Victini was supposed to be some kind of thing like the Keldeo. Maybe you catch the trio from Generation 5, and then it does the same thing where it's like, oh, there's a Victini. Oh, you get to battle it. Maybe it's also in a mysterious den as well. And then everyone's happy, but instead Game Freak just went, not even having an in-game trigger, not even having anything like that. It's just going to be a giveaway on the Nintendo Network, like for the 25th anniversary. They could just do that. It'd be like, get a 25th anniversary Victini. I think that's a lot simpler. And then that means more people can get access to this because it probably won't even need the Crown Tundra. And that also goes back to this tweet right here. There's other mythical Pokemon being given away right now by Game Freak. New Pokemon distribution event in Japan. I know that upsets people, but these Pokemon are still technically actively being given away regardless of the Crown Tundra. Points are earned for purchasing Pokemon cards and merchandise, then redeemed for mystery gift codes. Boom, you got that. There's a maximum. So yeah, you don't need these Pokemon in the Crown Tundra if you're planning an event. That also means we're probably going to get an event for these Pokemon soon, outside Japan, or some kind of connection or tie-in like that. So at this time, it's just really weird. We can go more into what the data miners are saying, and here's what we have. New gift Pokemon include Cosmog, Poipole, Glastrier, Spectrier. These are also listed as static encounters. Not sure if all of them are used. They're shiny locked either way, so we'll see with game progression, I guess. So yeah, it turns out that, the gift Pokemon were used, but not all of the static encounters were used, because the Poipole static encounter wasn't used. It's a level 20 gift that you get after just doing enough Dynamax adventures, but not like a level 60 Poipole battle where you end up catching it like we saw with, Terrakion, Virizion, Keldeo, Cobalion, Regigigas, and stuff like that. So yeah, it just seems like some things weren't used. So it's not just Victini. Where's the level 60 Poipole? It's just as likely that they're both not in the game. So that's something to note. We also have a little bit of other weird things. Unfortunately, Dream Match. This goes back to the Isle of Armor. The Isle of Armor datamine had information for the Crown Tundra, and one of them was Dream Match, potentially suggesting there's something beyond the Galarian Star Tournament. Turns out to be the Galarian Star Tournament trainers. Their 1.2.0 hash tables had some weird labeling and mislabeled a lot of the DLC 1 trainers, so that's unfortunate. Nothing like extra came in there, so there's that. And then people are also looking at other cutscenes, other information, other parts of the datamine that might be related to Victini. We have this from the Poke Experto webmaster. Thanks to those who confirmed me where the event comes out. this is just the scene. If you go to the Crown Tundra before placing the head on the Calyrex statue, so it's like, oh, you can't go there. There's cutscenes, there's dialogue, there's some extra things in the game, but it doesn't look like any of it belongs to Victini. So here's kind of the conclusion that we have from a Pokemon news outlet. Complete guide. Cannot be in the game. Bring it from Pokemon Home. And that's kind of summary. Like, at least that's not the worst thing. If you have a Victini, and Victini was made accessible, kinda, like, you know, when you look at the year of legendary or not the year of legendary Pokemon, the Pokemon 20th anniversary. The Pokemon 20th anniversary gave everyone all of the mythical Pokemon. But that was 4 years ago now. Actually, almost 5 years ago now, because the Pokemon 25th anniversary is next year. So just a couple months. You know, we got November, December, January, February. Into February is going to be the Pokemon 25th anniversary, and maybe even some Pokemon 25th anniversary stuff leading up before that. So that happened, but here's Victini. September 1st to the 24th. Is this too long away? But it was also like super easy, you know? You didn't have to do something obscure. It wasn't like Generation 4 or Generation 5 where connecting to the internet was a lot less prevalent, or there was also just weirdness about how the events were done in general. This was widely publicized. It's also not like Victini was the first event, so you got caught off guard like, wait, what do you mean there was a Mythical Pokemon thing that started off? We were well into the year of Mythical Pokemon, and also like the timing of it. Pokemon Go was out, everyone was hype on Pokemon Sun and Moon coming up. Like, there was a lot of madness. There was a lot of reason to be active inside of Pokemon, and you could get multiple of them because it was an event for Pokemon X and Y and Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire. So if you had a copy of each game, you got 2 of them. Also, I think people probably like reset their game and then got multiples that way potentially. So it's kind of a stretch, but there's also the potential in saying like a majority of players with the Crown Tundra DLC have access to the Victini. Now I know that, like, you know, not everyone has a Nintendo Network, Pokemon Bank, Pokemon Home has transferred all their Pokemon and stuff, but when you look at the millions upon millions of Victini that were given away, and then the millions of players that downloaded the actual Crown Tundra in relation to like the 19 million people that got the that got Pokemon's base Pokemon Sword and Shield, there could just be, you know, like a majority of Victini running around for these players, so you still have access to it. And then there's also the events I was talking about through not through Pokeexperto, but the ones that Pokeexperto covered. Like, we could just get Victini, and Victini is not really that big of a deal. Yes, true, Keldeo was put inside the game, so there is some accessibility even for a Pokemon that was given away in similar ways around a similar time. But we didn't get all of the mythical Pokemon coming back, maybe because Game Freak wants to hold them out for other events. Maybe Game Freak doesn't want to completely devalue them. Like, the Crown Tundra isn't about bringing back all the mythical Pokemon as well as all the legendary Pokemon and always having them there. They still want to keep something around this. Like, Darkrai isn't made available even though you can catch Cresselia in the game. And a lot of players are actually upset about that. Like, oh, if I catch Cresselia in Dynamax Adventures, maybe it should trigger some like mini storyline for Darkrai, like we have mini storylines for all of the other legendary Pokemon and Keldeo and stuff like that. So it's kind of weird. That's where we stand on Victini. That's everything we know about right now. Tell me what you guys think. Do you think Victini is somewhere in the game and it's going to take something super obscure? But like I said, I feel like that's out of line compared to how quickly you can get Keldeo or Poipole or Cosmog. They're not trying to make these like they're not trying to make it another hour-long story to get Victini, like when you get the Regis or the Galarian birds or something like that. It just, hey, here's a happy, cool Pokemon on the side you should be excited about. Do you think it's going to be an event? Do you think it's going to be a mystery gift? Do you think it's going to be like they just update the game and Victini was there all along and they just activate the trigger or something? I'd like to know what you guys think. So if you guys enjoy the video, hope you all have a nice day. Thank you very much for watching.